First of all, you have to decide whether your anger is healthy or unhealthy. So how do you do that? Well, first, what do you feel like doing? If you find that you're in a situation that you've got angry and you feel like punching, you feel like lashing out, you feel like hurting somebody, you feel like screaming, that's unhealthy anger. Hello and welcome. My name is Desiree Shaw. I'm a psychotherapist and I practice at the primary and privately. Welcome to the Tortured Superhero series. So if you've been watching the series, you would have seen that we have discussed Spider-Man, Hulk, anger, anxiety, dissociative identity disorder. So now we're going to start talking about how-tos. How to manage when you're angry, how to manage in all sorts of certain different situations where your emotional mental well-being may be challenged. So we looked at the Hulk, and one of the things we notice when it comes to the Incredible Hulk is that once he's triggered into his angry state, he can't see or hear. And this is identified as unhealthy anger. Unhealthy anger is noted by the things that you feel like doing, okay? It is determined by the perception of the person who is angry. So how do you deal with that? What happens when you are going through an angry situation and you cannot stop yourself from wanting to lash out? Because often anger is quite big and quite bold, but it doesn't have to be. It's not always unhealthy. And it's not always healthy. It all depends on you. So dealing with anger. Dealing with unhealthy anger. First of all, you have to decide whether your anger is healthy or unhealthy. So how do you do that? Well, first, what do you feel like doing? If you find that you're in a situation that you've got angry and you feel like punching, you feel like lashing out, you feel like hurting somebody, you feel like screaming, that's unhealthy anger, okay? If you feel like going for a walk, taking some time out, being a bit silent, that's actually healthy if you can recognize that you're angry, okay? 2, what do you actually do? So what you feel like doing and what you actually do are two different things. Feeling like wanting to lash out, feeling like wanting to punch and shout is not the same as doing it. What do you do instead? Do you become passive aggressive? Do you want to become physical and then actually become physical? Or are you trying to stop yourself from becoming physical and then become physical anyway? Okay, this is how you start to determine if your anger is healthy or unhealthy. Okay, 3, determine how you feel, your body sensations. Are you hot? Do you have a headache? Does your tummy turn? Do you feel the blood rushing to your fists and you clench them? Do you want to stamp your feet? Knowing what your body wants to do is really important. So how you feel, recognizing how you feel, super important to recognizing if your anger is healthy or unhealthy, okay? And why? Why do you want to do this? Do you feel threatened? Do you feel that something bad's going to happen if you don't react? Do you feel that your self-esteem is threatened? Are you filled with rage and your rules are being broken and you think that people just must not do what they're doing? And if so, then you have to get them to stop because you want to be in control. So these are the things that you recognize about anger.
We'll get there when we get there, mister.
I've got to be there by 5. Hey, mister, you're going to be 10 minutes late, so just keep your shirt on.
So why do you do it? Why do you do it? Go back and reflect. Banner, as we looked at in The Incredible Hulk, he was triggered into his anger, and then he would have emotional outbursts where he would lash out as the Hulk. What triggers you? Could it be a family situation? Could it be a neighbor? Could it be work? Could it be your boss? Could it be your partner? What is it that triggers you into your emotional, mental outburst of anger? Have a good think about that and recognize what actually happens. This will support you in reducing the anger and being able to manage it better. Is there ever a good reason for aggression? Is there ever a good reason for aggression? It's a really good question. Is there? When does self-defense become self-gratification? Because there's a thin line. You can switch to anger and then suddenly realize that during your angry state, you've actually got yourself into a self-gratification situation where you're releasing yourself, and it's no longer about self-defense. Because if you get angry due to you are defending yourself, this is a way of you saving your physical being. But when you're angry and you lash out as a way to release and self-gratify the way that you feel, then we got a really big problem. Okay? Anger is not bad or good. It's healthy or unhealthy. It's always good to recognize that. Anger is a known aggressive emotion. And what happens for some of us when we display anger, it can be a lot worse purely because of our size. And often because of our sex at times. Because when a man gets angry as opposed to a woman getting angry, it can be two different things, depending on his size and her size. We all make up our ideas about what's actually happening based on what we perceive is happening, which is why anger can be quite dangerous. So the Hulk, Incredible Hulk, the superhero, when he gets angry, it actually becomes self-gratification because he's releasing. And it feels better for him. He doesn't get angry and then suddenly decide he's going to save the world. Remember, the Hulk cannot see, hear, talk, or have a conversation when he's angry. He can only release. Then you've got Spider-Man. So when Spider-Man gets angry, it's actually about his self-defense. He's actually trying to save himself. In all of the series, whenever he's actually got to a place of being completely angry, it's because his self-esteem is at threat. And then we have my very own personal superhero, Bruce Lee. When Bruce Lee gets angry, it's about self-preservation. His famous film, Enter the Dragon, as Bruce Lee is about to walk away, he's already knocked out the guy's on the floor, he doesn't need to do any more. As he walks away, the guy gets up, goes to attack him, to save himself. It's self-defense, but his self-preservation, his anger does actually support him. However, he's managing it. He's not out of control. And this is what makes it very different. In the case of the Hulk and in the case of Spider-Man, Bruce Lee actually is a pretty chilled out superhero with a lot of strength, a lot of power and a lot of knowledge. The Hulk sees everything as happening to him. And because he sees things as happening to him, it's based on his rules, his control, what he feels. Spider-Man sees things as being unfair. Okay? He's hurt. And he sees it as happening to him and everyone else, and he needs to fix it. That's how he feels. Bruce Lee, the famous Bruce Lee, he sees the whole situation. He doesn't just see it as happening to him. So Spider-Man and Hulk are seeing the situations happening to him and to those who they care about. So it's still quite about them. Bruce Lee sees the whole situation and he's not labeling. He's quite open, okay? He's listening. He's able to talk. He's able to understand. He's able to come to a compromise and he's able to deal. He's able to minimize the damage. Whereas when we see anger as being out of control, it's just out of control. So for me, those three superheroes have a different way of dealing with anger. And what Bruce Lee tends to do is flow like water. And that's the idea. When you get angry, reflect and understand what's triggered you. Instead of acting on your anger, flow. It's not an easy thing to do, but it can actually be done. To find out if you are experiencing anger issues that are triggering you to behave in ways that you wish that you didn't, go to my website, DesireeShort.com, and click on the questionnaire. And there's one called anger. And you can decide for yourself if you want to take the questionnaire. It's up to you. Fill it in and find out, is your anger out of control? Are you Hulk? Are you Spider-Man? Or are you Bruce Lee? I'm mostly Bruce. Mostly. Sometimes Spider-Man. Occasional Hulk. Thank you for watching. My name is Desiree Shaw. Tune in to more Tortured Superhero series. Bye for now. Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, we need to get some stills. Picture.
Oh, this is great. It's literally...
Oh. We need some, like I'm in the spirit. You gotta take some pictures.
Hold on.
Oh yes. Oh, Andrew. This is a real coat, man. And somebody says,
My first coat, you know?
is it your first coat?
Yeah, first living coat.